Hello, and welcome to another Angry Unit of the Week. And today we're taking a look at the KHT-130 flamethrower tank. So the Russians had a lot of T-26 tanks before the war started, and they would end up making quite a lot of different variations of the T-26. And one of those variations would be flamethrower or chemical tanks. There'd be quite a few modifications of the flamethrower tanks. There were early models from the early T-26s with the twin turrets. There's one recently in game, the KHT-130, which replaces the main gun with a flamethrower, and there's also a later model which still retained the main gun, but instead put the flamethrower in the hull. In game, the KHT-130 is a 25-point flamethrower tank available exclusively to Group Viborg, and it has two weapons. The weapon loadout is very simple. You have a flamethrower, a heavy flamethrower at that, and a single machine gun, so a very anti-infantry loadout. The flamethrower at short range, the machine gun helps out a little bit at longer range. Pop down to the miscellaneous stats, has 15mm of front armor, strong top armor, 15mm on the side, and 15mm on the back. It goes 29km off-road, 35km on the road, has medium stealth and low optics. So in battle, the KHT-130 is frankly not a very good unit. And it's not really due to anything in particular of unit, but because flamethrower vehicles in SD2 are honestly pretty hot garbage. And this is really any of them, whether it's just the flamethrower half-track, any sort of other flamethrower tanks, unless it has the main battle gun still, they're usually not worthwhile to take. And the reason being is that the flamethrower range in SD2 is abysmally low at 160 meters. You can only really efficiently use these guys in like forest fights. You can get away with using them in town fights, but 160 meters, especially if shooting down roads, can be a little bit of a stretch of a range. And there's a very interesting argument I want to dig out here, is that in SD44, the flamethrower range on vehicles was actually longer. It was 260 meters. And you also got to consider the maps and like ranges in that game in general were much smaller compared to SD2. So why the SD2 flamethrower vehicles have shorter range? And the reason being, from my understanding, is that it's more realistic. Flamethrower vehicles in real life could not shoot 260 meters. If so, I think everyone would have just stuck flamethrowers and Panzer IVs and German tanks, and it would have just been a flame war between both sides. But anyway, it's an interesting argument because it comes down to quite an argument that we see a lot in SD2, is that do we strive for realism, or do we strive for more gamey aspects? Because on one hand, by following the realism of having flamethrower vehicles be a more 160 meter range, which is a bit more accurate, definitely fills in the whole accuracy of the game, and there is quite a lot of historical accuracy in SD2, especially in the divisional compositions. But on the other hand, it does make the vehicles pretty much useless from a gameplay perspective. I mean, when's the last time have you seen people try to do flamethrower half-track attacks through towns? Just use flamethrower vehicles in general. It isn't a crocodile, because the crocodile is the only useful one, because it actually acts as a good tank at the end of the day. The flamethrower is just something that you have on the side. I'd like to hear your guys' opinions about this in the comments below, because I think it's a good argument. Personally, I think, the ranges should just be longer for the vehicles. Yes, it's not accurate, but it would actually make them useful, and it definitely make it a little bit more fun, I think. As right now, pretty much any and all flamethrower vehicles are a complete miss. You just don't take them at all, unless it's a crocodile. And well, I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Angry Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.